What's up, everyone? We're back with another edition of the Superstars podcast. I am here with none other than Miss Jess Finnell. She is a powerhouse in this business, quite a personality, and look at her. I mean, she glistens. She glistens. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Take a deep
Absolutely.
breath. Take a deep breath.
All right. It's like my morning yoga, right? They have to get you in spot.
Is that a woosah or is that a namaste?
Yeah. Yes. Both. Most days, both. Mm-hmm.
So we are shooting from Jess's office in Langhorne, Pennsylvania. Most of you know, my name is Chad Levine. I am a lender and life coach, the two L's that go together, right?
Yeah.
I absolutely love this show. It allows me to connect with people that I've known throughout this industry. And you're someone I've always enjoyed paying attention to. Really good stories. But you and I, when we see each other, we just always have like a good energy, I feel
clicks,
like.
yeah.
It really does.
I think it was just about an hour ago that I had said you were the one person that can out-energy me. Yeah, really. Absolutely.
Which is hard to do. But I got to tell you, like, immediately, I feel like your look is awesome. Like it's very on trend.
Thank you.
And I feel like you vibe with, like you and I were talking earlier about my shoes and how colorful I am. Mm-hmm. And you're very much like, your personality, it matches your look, which I love. I think it's awesome.
Would it be like eclectic or
no? I feel like
surprising?
superstar is the word that comes to mind.
All right. I was gonna say I need a good adjective in there.
Yeah. So
Superstar.
I mean, we start in different places in this show.
Yeah.
So why not start with the look?
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. So I think when we first met, I was full big head of hair, mm-hmm. right? Darker hair. Mm-hmm. Probably 75 to 90 pounds heavier at that point.
Yeah.
Maybe even a half an inch taller. I don't know. And hidden. I feel like I was hidden.
Yeah.
Before a GLP-1 journey, you know, like that was the only thing that would keep me shy was me. So.
But you always had a very positive energy. You smile with your eyes. You have that energy about you.
I had to keep you here though.
Was
right?
it? Yeah. Was it a hidden thing? Was it? Did you have a lot going on insecurity wise, or?
I would say it was a mixture. So I've grown up being so outgoing always. My mom owned a dance studio when I was born. So.
Are you still doing that?
I dance. I mean, dance well, but I do dance mostly in the kitchen or the car. Yeah, I did not take that onto like a full career. My oldest daughter did. She's 20, so she was a competitive dancer.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But for me, you know, being a young girl, I guess it was, just always in front of these mirrors and my mom likes to tell me that my first walking steps were on a pageant. It wasn't my turn to go, but it was at a pageant. So I think a lot of that was just from her, like big personality, you know, love to talk to people. You're not going to find me like waiting in line, keeping my mouth quiet.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's like, you talk to strangers so much. And that's what life is all about, right? So
well, and it's funny because that attitude and that personality is translated well to your success in real estate, I'm sure. But you know, I think it's funny when you think of different people and you see people in certain ways and certain aspects of their parts of their life. Do you feel like you're at a certain confidence level or maybe in touch with yourself in a certain way you haven't been before?
So I think this career actually really brings it out of you. Mm-hmm. I think many newer agents start off with a jitter, and I think that jitter or those nerves are just them wanting to be better than they are yet, right?
That's a good
like
point.
They're feeling that like they're not ready, and I like to. When I was teaching real estate license classes, I had told some of the students that as like, you know, sometimes your nerves are just you wanting to do really well, right? And you can take that and channel it. And I'm sure you see most people in our industry have big personalities, right? So once you get comfortable enough to really start meeting your colleagues and your associates and co-ops and the people that are around you, you start to realize like, shoot, I found a whole world of my people.
Mm-hmm.
And then could you ever imagine doing anything else?
Yeah.
Right?
It's so
like
true.
I love to use the phrase I'm unemployable. Mostly because you can't get me anywhere on time. Right? If you give me a time, just add 15 minutes right off the bat, and then I'm going to do that too. And
I also am guilty of that.
Yeah. It's because we're busy.
I think we fill every single minute with every single possible thing we could.
Absolutely. And
like,
so when I
like
lost
my text message before this was to my wife, who said, "What are you doing?" And it was like, "I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm doing that." And it's like, you're not going to get all that done.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Well, I'm going to put it all on the to-do list and obsess about it all day, right? I mean, is that not productivity? Making to-do lists and then rewriting them tonight, tomorrow morning. Having ChatGPT reorganize it for you. And
totally. Absolutely.
Yeah. But I think that also goes kind of hand in hand with nervousness.
Totally.
Right? Like we over plan and over commit maybe. I'm sure we're all guilty of that. And that was something helpful in the past couple months for me that I had to, I'm still struggling with it, but when they say, every yes is a no to something. And so trying not to overgive or overcommit yourself, because I know we're like in that you love to get involved in a lot of things and very social, and the calendars add up like crazy, and we have to make sure that we're not taking away from something else that should be given our time, like our children, our spouses.
That's really well said. I mean, that really, and I have to take that in a little bit too. Because that is absolutely one of my issues, saying yes to every single thing, but realizing what I'm giving up by saying that yes. That's really powerful.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not giving up something, that we're looking at for ourselves, but it's somewhere else in our life. So I know for me years ago, it would have been like, health, right? Like taking the time to not just eat whatever packaged stuff is on the front seat of the car between showings and fitting in some time for walking and stuff like that. But I became really great at look at what you have to do and look at what you like to do and like, do these make you money in any sort or can one feed another, right? So I was not prioritizing exercise. So I decided to start walking dogs because I love dogs. So I get to play with someone else's dog and I get to get, walks in for the day.
That's super smart.
Yeah.
Because then you don't have to think about that you're actually exercising.
Right. And you are not going to cancel it because somebody else is depending on you versus like if you told yourself, okay, I'm going to go to the gym at 5:30 a.m., right? Like for me, that's always the last priority is I will cancel myself before anything else because I'm usually overdrawn or overcommitted.
And how very entrepreneurial of you. Like someone's paying you for you to exercise yourself.
Yeah, well.
That's awesome.
As my aspirations tend to do, it grew a little bigger than I was ready for.
You had like 20 dogs?
I literally was doing 5 and 6 dog walk drop-in visits a day.
So the dogs were walking you?
Yes, and I would have individual ones too, right? So like I had all these different stops all over Bucks County.
That's awesome.
It was great. You can, do some work phone calls or whatnot, texts in the meantime.
Oh my God.
And then I was like, oh my gosh, I have a whole dog walking business by accident. Like I need to hire help. I'm house sitting for people.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What are the odds?
I mean, when I get involved, the odds are actually quite strong. Yeah. I tend to do that sometimes. So it's like somebody had once said, like, don't ask her for something unless you're actually ready.
Interesting.
For the result.
Huh.
Yeah.
So let's rewind. I want to come back to that because I'm a big all-in. I'm a 0 to 60 guy, and so are you, I could tell.
Yeah.
But you know what? I feel like that is that's the making of a successful person. I really do. I think that's going all in every aspect of what you do. It allows you to live, right?
Yeah.
And feel and be and truly be that person, which comes back to like why you look the way you look and why you are the way you are, because you are all in, and which is awesome. That's the way to be. So let's take a step back because this is actually our first time doing this on air. So where did you grow up? Give us the family life. Give us that whole good stuff.
So I grew up in Lower Bucks County. I had 2 siblings, brother and a sister. My brother is a little bit older. Irish twins, I believe they would normally call us.
You're not Irish. No.
I am a whole potato. Yeah, Irish, German.
The Irish eyes are glistening.
Yes. It's usually from the Irish whiskey the night before. But, yeah, I'm all of those like pale-skinned folk.
Have you been to Ireland?
I haven't.
Oh, you gotta go.
I know. I have a cousin that goes. She's been a few times, her and her dad, and they just say like it's incredible.
You gotta go. Yeah.
I don't like rain, so yeah, but
yeah,
I'll get
but
there
a couple
one of these
Guinnesses
days.
and you're hanging out.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that's why they drink so much. I mean, what else are you gonna? You stay indoors and.
Yeah. But it's a fun culture. I did it. My wife is Irish, and we did the country, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend it. Yeah.
I'll get there one day. I would love to take my dad, actually.
You gotta go.
Yeah, I would love to take my father. He's a little more slowly moving these days. He was diagnosed with Parkinson's a couple years ago.
I'm sorry, yeah.
I am, and also not. I always like to look at another angle for things, and for him, one of the big things was that we were glad it wasn't something worse.
Sure.
Harder to deal with.
Sure.
Not to minimize the changes that he's had. But then it also kind of pushed him into like retirement. I don't want to say sooner, but as he should, and sped up my mom's timeline now as well. So I love watching them enjoy each other while they're both still young.
How long have they been married?
So how old am I? Nice try. They've been married, I want to say like 42, 43 years.
Awesome.
Somewhere around there. And they're both, my mom is 66, my dad will be in June. So.
Oh, they're young.
Yeah.
Young.
They were having all sorts of fun, prior to the Parkinson's. So now they just have to find a new way to do it. Like the dog walk thing, right? See what you need to do and see what you want to do and make sense of it from there. But
what have you learned individually as well as their marriage itself? What are the things, has that had a big influence on you?
So probably things that I didn't realize right away. My parents have had a very lovely, still do, marriage. And so we had that nuclear family. I think people say nuclear and they get that wrong, right? Nuclear. And I guess I took that for granted. Then I had my daughters and we did the blended family thing. My girls are 16 and 20. Yeah.
I'm jealous. They're self-sufficient.
I know. It's a whole other world.
Yeah. Does it give you a new lease on life in a sense that you feel like they have their independence and you can regain yours?
That's exactly where I am, actually. No, you're spot on with that. Because, the last few years have been transitional for me as a person and relationship-wise, going to learning how to be single and then not having the girls being like, needing a lot as they do when they're younger. This is the first time in my life I've been alone.
Interesting.
And I love it.
Yeah?
I love
So what is it about, because I only liken it to like a dude's perspective. I can watch what I want and eat what I want. And, what is your perspective on it? I'm
probably first is it probably drove more of like finding who you are, right? I graduated high school and had my daughter about a year later. So I was 19 when I had her. We got our first apartment 6 months later. And, it was her and I against the world.
Yeah.
And then one day, my second daughter. And now there's space. There's peace. There's room in the room for thoughts and what do I want to do? What am I into?
Yeah.
Who
that's interesting.
am I?
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
And it's also interesting that you're at a different part of your life where you can almost, things that you didn't know at that point.
Right.
So when people experience that, they're super young. right?
Yeah.
You couldn't
Yeah.
experience that because you had to grow up quickly.
Right.
And
Yep.
the fact that you're experiencing it now probably allows you to, take things in a totally different way.
I mean, I am grateful for the timing, right? Because I think I can be more thoughtful with, everything that I want to do next, and thinking about how do you treat the last couple of years, right? Sometimes I think as we age, it's going back and looking at remembering that it wasn't me 15 years ago. It was 15 years ago me. And so whoever you were, whatever you did, however you lived, the jobs that you had, the friends that you had, they're going to be different. And I think some people get really hung up on it like it's a loss.
That's very hard, yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
can see that.
It's not. It's a change in your story. It's a change in your chapter. And if you're changing, shouldn't your surroundings be as well? And it's not always a bad thing or it has to come with some sort of a fallout. It's just, what aligns with your life now and where you want it to go.
So how did you get to where you are now mentally? Did you have assistance? And it's important, or do you think, is it a lot of it, was it your own self?
No, you know what? I think I always lean towards transparency and authenticity. And I think that it would be a disservice to people to not be real about this part of the transition. I was engaged and I was living in a home that just did not allow me to continue to grow and thrive, and it was just that I could feel myself changing, like I could feel that something just wasn't aligning, and that's when the big questions happen. And for me, I'm not a very religious person, so spirituality had to come into the conversation. And, I kind of met it with, I don't have the answers, somebody else does, so let's go find them, right? So I tried a bunch of different, I was reading and journaling, which I hate to do because I can talk so much more than I can write. So journaling with AI was cool, and we got into meditation and yoga and walking, deeper conversations with people. I mean, there was just a whole, probably over a year of, let's see what I'm into, right? And same for fun things, right? That I think that needs to be said as well.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. I started to look at who was I before life shaped me. So I looked at when I was a child, what did I do? I loved marine life. I loved the beach. I loved art.
That's
I loved
a
drawing.
super cool way. Now, did someone tell you to do that?
No, I overthink it
but
constantly.
That's really smart.
It's strange though, right?
It's really smart because you're tapping back into the things that you enjoyed when things were purer.
Right.
It's simpler.
Right. Before anything, before any big life experiences and, the years of adolescence, and if school gets difficult for people, this was 7-year-old me that would lay on the floor with dump out my 96 pack of Crayola crayons. We can't just have the 24. And I would think about those things, and I'll have to send it to you at some point. Maybe we can even add it here. But one night I just picked up some colored pens and started drawing a plant that was in my house, and I was like, oh wow, okay, I can do this. And then I've made a few paintings since. So with no background at all, because that's what I like to do when I was 5, 7, 9.
And was that something that you did a lot less of?
Yeah, I guess it just stopped one day.
Interesting.
You got busy with other things, after school activities, jobs, sports. It just when at some point I was no longer a kid, and I stopped doing kid things. And I know people have the coloring books that they color the mindfulness and all that. I know adult coloring has been a thing, but I feel like this is different. That's a soothe your mind, monotonous type of thing to do. And this was more of going back and trying just to remember what I was into,
That's really interesting.
Dance, music.
Wow.
Movement.
And all of those things are big in your life now?
Yeah.
Because you've gotten back to that.
Yeah.
And because you've rediscovered yourself.
Yeah. Or, rediscovered, remembered even.
Yeah.
Remembered. And then, coupled with things now. I mean, absolutely love animals, and that quickly was building a care business. But what I really, I don't even want to call it my big life goal, because it sounds like it's non-negotiable for me. What will happen is one day I'm going to have a rescue ranch.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
It gets bigger from there. There's big steps to it. So when you want the whole thing, it might even have to be another episode. I'll tell you
I would love that.
Yeah.
We'll go visit the rescue ranch.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So that is, to me, it's, like, you've been very good, even talking today about how you can focus on the positives and make things count to a way that's helpful and it's productive. And it's interesting to see how the things in life that you were dealt with, right, and you had to deal with, even the most recent things you've dealt with, have led you to rediscover and become more of who you are today, which totally brings back to the first things we were talking about, which is your look and your appearance and how you feel and all those other things. So I love that. I think it's such a cool message. I really do. How will this change how you approach relationships overall going forward? Have you changed? Are you putting yourself first in a sense of, I can be selfless and I can think about you, but I have to have these things for me to be me?
For sure, absolutely. I know, people go back to the whole, well, you can't pour from an empty cup type of a explanation to it, and I do love a good analogy. But I think it's more about what people in your life deserve as well, right? So obviously, be authentic to yourself. You're going to, if you know your best version, then it's easier for you to embody it more naturally. And then you're more comfortable and your output is more authentic. It's more genuine, which you're giving then everybody else a better
I love that, because you can tap into your best self.
Yeah. And I think that
that's awesome.
Everybody goes through something, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think that, I don't look back and think that I've had any sort of huge traumas or upsets or like, so I'm grateful that whatever load I was given was only what it's been so far, and it's going to change you in one way or another. So it's either going to change you how you let it or how you make it.
Well, it's funny you say that, because, the religion thing, I always tell people, and when you have children, I feel like the best way religion is a path, right? It's a way to get them to interact with a higher being so that they have emotional support in times of need, right? And that's what I tell, because my wife's Catholic and I'm Jewish, and we're raising our children Catholic. And for me, it's important that they have a path to God.
Yes.
And I don't care what God it is. God is a symbol of somebody that provides comfort and security, so that when you're deep in thoughts and you can't find answers, it's someone you're communicating with, right? So it's the symbol of it. And that is, to me, so important, because no matter how you look at it, it's the saying of God always gives you what you can handle, right? And whoever gives you whatever you can handle, religious or not, all of these things happen to you for a reason, right? And you're the best version of you now and living your best life because of all that other shit.
Right. So if you're looking back, absolutely. And so if you're looking at your own path and you're looking back and you have some like anger over it, right? You hear people that are like, oh, I've been divorced for 8 years, and they're still going on about it. If you're still living in that spot, something is not resolved or reconciled, because generally you're looking at what you went through and you're grateful that it brought you to here. Right? So if you're not grateful for the bad stuff, maybe you're kind of still work in progress on that.
You are a warrior for coming out of all of that stuff to where you are now. Like, you're a warrior.
I don't feel like a warrior. I just feel grateful.
Yeah,
right?
But you are, though. You are, and you're in a better place than, I would say, most people, because most people don't even have the ability to go through any of that to come to where they are now. Most people will get to the end of their life and be like, oh, whoops.
Yeah.
I didn't get to do any of that.
That should be a fear for most of us,
yeah.
I think, right?
Totally.
I believe, I learned in one of my, classes or courses or whatnot, I believe I learned that Gary Keller would read end of life stories for people, right? Like, what is it that people think about when this is it? And a lot of it is, unfinished, the unfinished business, the unspoken words, somebody they didn't reconcile with, a big life goal, like I said, with the ranch, that, you didn't go after. And, I think if you even take it a step further, it's like you're thinking end of life, but now I think with my father and the Parkinson's, what about just end of life as you know it, right? Like, you can't wait to do the really big stuff in your life when you can't lift the really big stuff anymore,
That's so true.
So we have to take care of ourselves in the meantime. That definitely gave me a new, refreshed, energized type of a feeling. And
that's awesome.
Yeah.
You know what? Good for you. Like, the fact that you had that you're where you are now is awesome. It's really, really cool.
I am grateful for it.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's important to note that at one point we're self-employed, right? So it's really challenging sometimes to be self-employed and a hot mess, right? To be going through something but still have to show up and function. And so there was a slightest moment in time where I was like, should I still be self-employed while I'm trying to go through things and rebuild? And then I just couldn't not see working in this industry.
Totally.
Right?
Good segue.
Yeah.
Good segue.
Yeah.
So let's get there.
Yeah.
Talk about real estate, the journey for you, what it's meant to you, how it fits in the whole. Now that you've come to the best version of yourself, you're still in it, which means you must like it.
The current best, which means there's only more best to come, of course.
Right.
So I was a young mom and started my working career, I guess. I had jobs from 14 or 15, but when I started in real estate, I was currently working as a 911 dispatcher. And I think I still was when we met as well. And so that was full time, and it was the overnight shift. And this kind of just transitioned and fit in greatly. And until I found myself, momming 2 girls and working 80, 90-hour weeks. So in 2018, I transitioned full time into real estate, and there was no question asked. Besides, why didn't I do this sooner? Maybe.
Interesting.
I think, it was.
What got you out of the gate so quickly?
I'm so glad you asked. It's so embarrassing. Our town, I lived in Southampton at the time, and they do this really great week-long 4th of July. There's a parade and
they
carnival.
do. Yeah, that's right. It is.
The Southampton days.
Yeah.
And it was kind of my thing with my youngest and her dad. And it was our little tradition. And I had put in for vacation time. And really, I owed that to her, because I was overcommitting and not making enough time. And something happened with the manning, which is important at 911, right? That you have enough people to answer the phones and help the cops. And my day got rescinded. And I was kind of like, what? I'm tired of answering to somebody else. It was a little bratty, honestly. It was a little bratty. So I put in my 2-week notice instead of losing my day off. I just decided I was tired of asking somebody else for permission. It's my life, right? I'm tired of asking for permission on what I want to do. So, it was a great career and it was very interesting. But this transitioned in a way that I never expected. All of my first couple of years, my clients were the same people that I worked with at 911. They were dispatchers and police officers. And
so that was your sphere.
Yeah, and it was huge. I mean, the emergency services family is massive, and it's a whole county of 50-some municipalities, and they really supported me.
That's awesome.
They really put their trust in me, and it just, it flew. It worked out really well, and it kept me surrounded by people that I already know and love and feel comfortable with, and then it just blends, right? Where you're like, oh, my client, friend, client, colleague, coworker, and you find that you have this person that you've sold them 2 houses and you've sold one for them, but you knew them before and now you're better friends,
Yeah.
That's what I love about our industry.
And that's what I was going to ask you. You're just, this is an easy interview. You're just going right into every one of them. So what is it you most connected with? Is it the relationship aspect of it? What resonates the most with this particular line of work?
It is absolutely the people. And I was saying this the other day, and I found like a crunch phase for somebody that kind of turned around, like, what did she just say? And I said, I don't even really love selling houses. And they were like, what? I said, I love helping people. I love being with people. I love showing homes. I mean, we love walking through them and the things that we see. But even listing it, like marketing is people, right? Everything comes back to people, how they think, what they want, how they perceive you. And it's just all very relationship based. And, you leave with a great problem to have is that when you want to have an event or you want to go somewhere, it's like, wow, look at all these people that I love. And they came from this.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I wasn't making friends with any of my, let's call it customers at 911. I mean, nobody calls and says like, hi, I set myself on fire, making a bonfire out back, but also what's your sign and what are you doing on Saturday? You guys want to hang out, So
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But it is great. It's definitely the relationships.
Yeah, for sure. And I could tell that lights you up. You can tell like you're just a people person.
Yep. Yeah. They energize me.
Yeah.
You must be the same way because
yeah.
You out-energize me. Yeah, absolutely.
It's funny. The hardest thing for me is and it's like it's a continuum of a relationship. Like you open up and when I say you, I mean agents open up the relationship, open the door, bring me in as part of the team. We start to all build a rapport and work together. And then I take over. And I always tell people, once we're under contract, it's every day for 30 days, right?
Yes.
The hardest thing is at the end, you're like, bye.
Where'd you go, friend? Yeah. You guys are going, well, we just had a settlement, right? And it's like, you guys are going out to lunch?
Yeah,
All
exactly.
right.
Exactly.
All right. Tell me where to be. I'll be 15 minutes late at least.
But it's comforting, and I think you'll find this, that some people think that the process is such a big thing. I mean, it is. It's a big thing. You're buying a home. It's a big deal. It's expensive. It's blah, 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 blah. But we do it so much.
Yeah.
I think we can make it comfortable because we're good at it.
Yeah.
Like we can pull that burden off of you so that it is enjoyable.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And, there are things that, will protect people in. And, there are things today's settlement where I found myself like, saying a little things, but being protective of the clients to a certain extent. And you do that just because it's like, hey guys, don't worry.
Yeah.
We're the nice people, but if you mess with our people, we're going to bite your head off.
Yeah. I got you. That Italian last name. Yeah. You don't even need your relatives. Chad and I are here.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
It's like we're super nice, but like, don't do something stupid.
Yeah. Well, we're super everything, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So exactly.
That's true.
So we're super what you bring out of us.
It's true. It's very, very true.
Yeah.
But let's not talk about the other side.
Yeah. We call it passion. We just call it passion. Yeah.
So the one thing we have to talk about, it's so big in your personality, is your connection with the veterans.
Yes.
Right? So tell everyone about that, what you do, why you're so connected with it, and why it's such a big part of you personally and professionally.
Absolutely. No, thank you for that. The veterans, when I say passion, and this is in the instance that I actually do truly mean passion, it is something that was ingrained in me. I think not even realizing as I grew up and got older, and I've always had so much respect and reverence for our servicemen and women. And when I got into real estate, I had some questions around a VA loan, and I kept hearing things from people that, we don't do a lot of them, or they're not as popular, or conventional is better. I just kept hearing these swirlings, and it just didn't jive well with me. So long story short, I ended up going online and going through some Facebook groups and getting a little bit more education around the VA loan product, and then joining with a nonprofit in which we would go advocate for them on Capitol Hill. And the more that I learned, and that's really, I think, the key there is education, right? Knowledge and education. The more that I learned about the VA loan of today is that it's such an amazing product, and that veterans were not, some were being pushed to not use their, I know. And then some were, just not having a good experience when they would submit their offers because of things that we believed about this loan that maybe were true 30 years ago.
So for people that don't know, right? What are the things that you saw? Like, what are the things that were being discriminated against? Like certain elements?
Yeah, no, they actually still are quite a bit. So,
which is crazy.
Absolutely crazy.
It's just, let's be honest. That is because a lack of knowledge of the professionals.
It is absolutely.
Right? Because they're great products and they're awesome for the people that deserve them.
Yeah. And people worked really hard to get them to be great products. Totally. People spoke up and said, so the mortgage, the appraisal timeline before was something that had taken, there we go.
Yeah, you're good.
Had taken longer. PC, man. Yeah. And so, it used to have some seller incurred fees because the buyers couldn't pay the fees on it. Those are a thing of yesteryear. It does not incur more fees for the seller. People get really nervous about condition of the property because VA loan has what's called MPR, minimum property requirements. And, they're really just issues of health and safety that we want to make sure this person's moving into a home that doesn't have unsafe electrical issues or trip hazards or fall hazards. And so some people think that, it's going to be very scrutinized for condition, which they can find right online. VA.gov has a lender's handbook. Chapter 14 gives all of these criteria that they'd have to meet. So like you said, it is knowledge, right? Because now if you know where to access it and you can see if there's any concerns, and hey, this home is absolutely fine to, pass on to a vet who, earned their loan product. I mean, everyone earns theirs to a degree with their financial situation, credit score, income, whatnot. But really, this product is a benefit. It's part of their benefits package for what they've done for 100%.
us. 100%.
Right. So to be kicking them away from using it, then maybe it's got a better rate.
It's got the best rate. It has no mortgage insurance. You put zero down.
Yeah.
So,
but that gets held against them. Some people think that it matters to the seller if what the down payment is that the buyer is going to be financing their future home with. So we go, oh, there's no skin in the game. And it's like, there's no skin in the game. Do you want me to show you their enlistment paperwork?
Well, so here's the best news that people don't understand, right? If you get two offers, one's with $600,000 with 20% down. The other one's with $600,000 with 0% down. Who do you think's actually more qualified?
The one with 0%. But I cheat because I know this answer.
And the reason that is because their loan is larger.
Yes. Yeah.
And if their loan is larger, they actually have a higher qualification.
Yes.
Hello.
And probably also more money sitting there for who knows what.
Exactly.
Buyers, agent compensation.
So think about that. Someone has a $480,000 loan versus a $600,000 loan.
Yeah.
The $600,000 loan qualifies. So who's in a better financial position?
Yep. And VA does not have many of their own underwriting guidelines. Yeah. So, VA can be done with, there's going to be lender overlays, of course, but VA can be done for any credit score. We've seen it in the mid and high fives. It's a great product for people who have earned it.
Yeah.
And
should use it.
And should use it. And we should not, whether it be, the buyer's agent, the seller's agent, the seller themselves, nobody should be pushing them away from that product. when you said information.
God help that listing agent when you
Yes.
put that offer in. Like,
And I've had that where I've had long conversations with them about it, and I said, let me dispel your myths.
Yeah.
And, then we get 3 hours later, we get the phone call. Oh, well, they went with this one because yours was VA.
Yeah.
What? Tell me something that makes
You're
a
the
difference.
wrong person to tell that to.
I mean, yeah. And VA has all these other great things. If it does appraise low, which it appraises at value just as much as a conventional does, within 1%. Yep. And if it happens not to, you have Tidewater.
Yep.
After Tidewater, you have reconsideration of value, right? They're literally giving you 2 chances here.
Yep.
You ever try to chase down an appraiser on an FHA appraisal that you want the value change down?
Yep.
Yeah. So, no, it's got a lot of really great things. And that is why I like to hold classes on it. For other agents.
Yeah.
And I get that. Like, well, what is in this for you, right? Like, I'm not creating, I'm not originating. But if other agents know, then not only are our vets getting a better shake, maybe when I put my offer in, it's going to be a little smoother to have that conversation.
Do you do content on it? Do you do things to help promote the agent literacy part of it?
I need it to be more on the interwebs. I need it to be more social. Yeah, I do a lot in person.
Because I know you do a lot of events. You do events for the vets. You do a lot of things for that, and I definitely. But it's interesting. I never thought about that, but you really can be a really big advocate because agents really listen to other agents too. So because that's really important.
They don't have a reason not to. So when I'm presenting an offer, sure, there's a motivation.
Right.
And I know that I have their ear maybe 60 to 80% of their attention on it. But when I am just your fellow agent, colleague, standing in front of this room for 3 hours telling you everything that I've learned in the past 8 years, then it's just a friend giving them trusted information, obviously backed up with sources and stats and things like that. But yeah, I tell people, save my number in your phone and just put VA next to it. And if you get a client that's VA, come to me, ask me questions, bring me in on the conversation. I'll even help other people put their offers in, and combat any of those objections or misinformation. So yeah, I would love to make it like a certification program. Get everybody.
I think it'd be a great idea.
Yeah. I love teaching.
Yeah, well, and let's segue into that for a little bit, and then we're gonna do another episode. I feel like it's so funny to me. Like, what are we gonna talk about?
Yeah,
girl,
what are we not gonna talk about?
Girl,
did you also get in trouble in school for the one that wouldn't stop talking in class? And,
but this is you. It's like our episode. We're gonna fill it to the brim. So
got it.
So education, teaching, mentorship. That's a big part. So do you have a team?
I do not have a team yet.
Okay. Is that on the radar?
Potentially. I have considered it, but I'm also in that space of not cutting myself too thin, right? And will I be the best leader for that right now with everything that I am working on in other fields of life? Like, is the timing right, or is this role the best thing for me now? So I don't have the answers to it yet. It's something that I've been kicking back and forth on, what is the best fit for what I want to do next. Yeah.
Which is good though, because you're still in the process of self-discovery and self-enjoyment.
Right. And I want to absolutely. And I want to make sure that anyone who needs me gets enough of me that they need and deserve.
So important.
Right. And I also don't want to take away from the big life goal, like
Absolutely.
the ranch. My little teaser on the ranch is that I want it to have housing for veterans that are housing insecure. And then I want it to open into a mental health arm.
Oh, I love it.
With like a retreat.
Love it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Exactly. So there has to be enough of me still for that and those days to come. So.
And I feel like when you have a goal like that, the passion and drive is just much further. Because when you don't have the goal, like, it's a little aimless.
Yeah, absolutely. And or people have like these really small, it's almost like they're making a to-do list for next year. That's not what a goal is, right? It should
Which is so common in this business.
Yeah.
Like they're almost fruitless goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I want to increase this by 20%.
X amount of transactions.
Yeah.
No. Like,
Snooze.
yeah.
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 You want to change lives?
Yes.
Your own? Somebody
Yeah.
else's?
Yeah.
You know? Do you want to be remembered when you're gone? That's what I really think about. It's not how many people come to your funeral. It's how many people think about you 5 years later. You know, I always say I want to be somebody's quote on their wall. You know?
That's a really good way to say it. I like that.
Yeah.
That's
people,
cool.
You know, when we have all these kitschy things all over the place. And I want something I said to hang.
So I'm gonna let you do two. I always do these at the end. So first question is, would you encourage your daughters to get involved in real estate?
Individually, only one of them.
Okay. Okay.
Because I know them and their personality. Yeah. So my oldest daughter will hate this, but she's very much me. And she would eventually enjoy it and excel at it. However, she is going to be a physician assistant.
Nice.
Yeah, she's currently at Temple. She's a junior at Temple.
Awesome.
Yeah. My 16-year-old, no. Only because I know that it's not her personality for it. She likes things to be more orderly and repetitive. Right, and real estate is always something different. And she's got maybe just a little bit too much heart for it, right? You still have to know when to be tough for yourself or for your clients. She's only 16, but right now she's a little soft for it. Who I would really want to be in this industry is my mom.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So now I can get on her a little bit more because she's
you're
actively
pushing for it.
retiring from the job that she has to go to Monday through Friday. Like, who wants to do that
So we might
job?
see an alliance or
It
a
would
partner?
be lovely. She fights me on it.
Maybe we'll have a little breaking for that.
That would be really cool. Yeah. That would be really cool. What I'm thinking is she'll retire and then Dad, who's home all day, will get on her nerves enough that she'll want to find a reason to come out, and we'll just bring her to one of those cool co-op happy hours or whatnot.
There you go. I love it.
And then she'll be in. So.
And then new agents, when they're coming on board, what is your one or two liners that you're giving them from an advice perspective as far as getting out of the gate and then surviving?
Yeah, absolutely. Getting out of the gate, I would say get out of your head, right? There's so many things that you're not doing right now that you could be, and I'm guilty of this, because you're waiting to feel like you know better what you're doing. Proceed with caution, right? This is why we train a 911 dispatcher before we throw them on the phones. Same thing, educate yourself, but have the conversations, have all the conversations, talk to everybody. I was in a course a few months ago where the newer agents were trying to say, well, where do we find our sphere, our people? And it's I kind of, not meaning to be so sarcastic, but I said, anyone you know who needs a home, who lives in a home, everybody. Well, not everybody, sadly, but right? It doesn't have to be somebody that you think is the age of buying or selling, or they're in this situation. I mean, you're in the business of homes, and most of us live in one to some degree. And then we know people that do as well. Talk to everybody. So that's getting right out of the gate. And I love new agents. I really miss teaching the licensing classes, mainly because they thought I was hysterical. And then staying in it, I really think that the most important to me, maybe some people feel differently, but you're not focusing on the check or the money. You are not in it for the numbers, for the next sale, for the next direct deposit. You're in it for the people. And if you just focus on that, what's best for them, what feels good, what makes you sleep easy at night, you're going to sleep easy at night. I hear people all the time saying how stressful this job is. And I'm going, am I doing enough of it? It's really not hard. It's actually really wonderful and fulfilling. But you have to be working from a good place. So give a good amount of yourself to what you're doing and make it quality, right? Make sure that you're doing the right thing and that you're educated and you're informed and you're showing up. And then you're working from the right place and everything kind of levels out, right? Yeah. It does what it's supposed to.
That's a good message.
And then we have fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I didn't know the other versions of you, but this version's pretty cool. So
Thanks.
I got to give it to you.
There's so many versions.
So yeah, we did the damn thing. What do you think?
We did it. Yeah.
So anyone that wants to get a hold of you or follow you on socials, is there a way they can do that?
Yes. And I am transitioning into a new personality, Bucks County Big Mouth.
Oh, yes. I love it.
Yeah, so look up Bucks County Big Mouth. It. I had enough times where I was out in public and people are just turning and listening to whatever. I'm sure you get the same thing, right? We're loud.
Mainly, I'm in the in-home big mouth, but
yeah. Yeah, but in a social setting, when you're talking to somebody, you can see everyone else's eyes are on you.
Bucks County Big Mouth.
I figured why not? Let's brand it and let's make it something that we can all follow along. And
that's so cool.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing that.
Thanks.
That's awesome. Well, guys, we, as always, get into it so heavy, and what an awesome story. I'm really looking forward for the reels on this thing.
I can't wait to see.
Absolutely. So follow us at Superstars Podcast on all of your socials. Yep. Once again, we do it with the best, the brightest in business, life, and real estate. I'm Chad Levine, your host. This is Jess Finnell. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.